600 trees. She lives on North Station, you know, station. Okay. Her side of the street, on the other side of the street, north house, every house, tree uprooted and then crashed over.
Chris Lee is on the city. Blue trees down, there's farming.
Yeah, I know that's it.
So we're about to move more into some of it.
They're built.
We're Brian Indians.
One of them
was Bowser. They're putting the structure.
Yeah. Some of them like the roof came across the lines were south pressure. You know, the side of the house. I just wonder if the roof was like one straight or something.
We just said it.
So it was 6 months.
You see that now?
No, it wasn't good.
We did the dairy farm. We lost cows in it. Two before it was through.
We had like a couple of million, but I like it. We had a lot of lightning.
It was actually killed.
I guess I got some more predicted.
East.
He has movie Tuesday. No. I just get really because I've never seen it. Because you didn't just see it on TV. When I saw it, I thought, this is unreal.
Remember
It's just unreal.
They'd get a pickup truck out of a tree out there in his yard. It would have been just east of Rex's place and then
I just made this.
What you do? She put me here so I didn't have to.
Wow.
She.
I hope so.
Everybody's here, right? Children, right?
They didn't know whether.
Wow.
Is Bill back or not?
60.
Hopefully, can you hear me?
Yes, Bill, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Did I hear you?
We were just amazed to see it.
I guess you can hear me.
It was like.
Can you see me?
No.
That's how close, but that wind was just blowing. I said, that wind's just blowing, it's blowing our faces, you know? She said, get in this house.
Christmas, all these TVs are almost gonna be distracting. Well, if we can get the basketball game on here, we'd be all right. Yeah, we get one over here, though.
Ryan, do you have Nebley's comprehensive plan on, have you scanned it yet to where you can send it? Or you just?
Yeah, I've got it.
Can you send me a copy of that? I'd like to review that at some point.
If you wanted a copy too, didn't you?
Yeah, I can just send.
Yeah,
send
me one of those.
Yeah. Did you want a copy of that?
I'll just set it out there, really.
Now, did you get Bob hired like that?
That's what I use it for.
Part-time?
He's on vacation.
Preview only.
Yeah.
He got his camera turned on.
You know, I can't.
I don't think so.
He'd surely figure this out by now.
He must be the last dog hung down there.
I was in the school business, I had secretaries who take care of all that.
Yes.
There's a lot of TV.
Granddaughters in nurses training at Anderson University.
Four of them.
I can see them, but they can't see me.
They're not a
I
very
can see
good
them, but they can't see me.
plan.
They hear me.
But anyway, they were going to play in Lima, Ohio, at Bluffton University. So they were supposed to go on Saturday. So she teed off, and she was teeing off on the 10th hole. She shot 5 shots, and the whistle blew, and they took them all off the course because of sleet. And
There he is.
wind.
There you are, Bill.
Woo, hey, I was still pushing buttons. I didn't know if I was going to come in or not.
You did it.
But she
Yeah, that's terrible.
on that hole, and she hadn't gotten to the pin yet. So they called it just as time.
I just like to have fun. I'm not a good golfer at all, but we go all the time, and I just go, just to do what I like.
Yeah, they can now. I pushed another button.
Be on your team if you're real serious about it, because you're gonna be totally disappointed.
Good evening. Welcome to the Grant County Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for April 3rd. If you would, all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, could we have a roll call vote for attendance?
Atkins,
Here.
Howe,
I'm here.
Johnson,
Present for a change.
Jones,
Here,
Long,
Here.
Hartman.
Here. Okay, next thing on the agenda is approval of minutes for March 6th. Now, I was missing a page of the minutes. Was anyone else missing the second page of the minutes in their packet? I printed a few extra while I was at it. Okay, the second page begins with Jennifer Webb was present to represent the petition. The first page of public hearing of Grant County Board of Zoning Appeals.
I don't have that. My second page starts with no
My
adjustments.
second page is,
You need a second page.
Next one, kid.
Yeah. You two also need a second page. Y'all got one?
I'm sorry, I'm catching up in.
no, but I don't know.
Okay,
Oh, I see. There's page 3.
yeah, okay.
We were trying to do two-sided for some reason. It went to there instead of making the second page.
do you need a page over there?
Yeah, we don't have it either.
I got one left. No.
Oh, you got this.
We got it evidently, however, we copied it.
Yeah, it was in the electronic email.
I didn't catch that.
Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
Have now.
Okay. One addition to the minutes is under the Jennifer Webb petition, Chairman Hartman again stated retail sales could not be approved for R3 according to the zone table. That needs to be added to the record there.
That's as high as we go.
Are there any other additions or corrections to the minutes?
Damn. See, it went black on me. Come on. God. Me turning it went. That's as high as it goes. I hear them. Now I got to get back to them.
You talking to the dog or who you talking to?
I think the wife.
No, I'm talking. I'm lost the picture again.
There
I
you are.
tried to turn it on.
Back now.
You're on.
I'm on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see me, but okay. If you say I'm on, I'm on.
I'm gonna vote to turn you off.
Don't vote that.
Okay, do we have a motion or is there any further discussion?
I would move that we accept the minutes as read or as printed.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Mr. Howe and a second from Mrs. Jones. We have a roll call, please.
Atkins,
Yes.
Howe,
Yes.
Johnson,
Abstain.
Jones,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. I think we need to clarify that motion. Did you make your motion with the correction
As written,
as written?
yeah, we wrote it in.
Oh, you wrote it, okay. So that would be with the correction.
With the correction, yeah.
Okay, that's understood then, all right. Get back to- I need a few more papers here to shuffle through. Okay.
Well, I got a question. Kyle's not here. Do we proceed?
Yes. Did anybody hear from Kyle?
Yeah, he said he wouldn't be here since we didn't have any kind of public hearings going on.
Okay, that'd be fine. All right, we need to approve our findings of fact for Jackson Wright, 01 BZA V-23.
Everybody got just a single page in there? Are we supposed to have a page that we sign on?
Yes. I just have a single page on that also.
The back of it is going back toward procedures, rules, and procedures.
We will hold that
it's
till
all
the
in
next
how it
meeting.
was.
Because I don't have the town of Fairmont either.
I've got,
You got the town of Fairmont?
I've got the back half of town of Fairmount, the front half is on there.
We don't have to do this.
Yeah, I do have the back half of the town fair now. Just have to- I'll go over that. It's on the page. Okay. All right. We have no new business petitions. And in other business, we will take up where we left off on the rules of procedure for the BZA that we're amending.
Well, Ed, I got a question.
Yes.
In the old petition, it says that it's tabled to further notice on the web.
Yes. Now, that petition did not get a motion, and there was some questions of that petition. And so until those are cleared up, we wouldn't need to hear that one again. After the property ownership is established and after we are clear on.
Well, that was the question, who's the ownership
Yeah,
of the property?
right. It's jointly owned right
Yes.
now. And we had one person here who was in favor of it, but there was some talk of the other owner was not.
Correct.
So that was a reason for delay, and also we need to withdraw the part of retail sales, running a store, not just having something to drink while you're exercising, but actually running sales and running a store.
And Mr. Hartman, we still have questions on that. And we're struggling understanding how sales are allowed 90% of R3, whether by special exception or by right, but in this case, they're not allowed.
90% in R3, or you're allowed to run a
You
store?
go through the land use tables and the NAICS, that's everything I was sent you, to
Yeah,
kind of look at. I mean, there's stores in there that can be ran.
well, on our land use table, it's not checked for a special exception. No retail stores are checked for that. I'm not sure how you get to that. I'm not sure how we should interpret that. If the APC wants to change the land use table, that would be a different discussion. But just running massage therapy or yoga does not mean you can then run a retail store where people come and buy your products.
So we've got to figure out something, because again, 90% of R3s have some type of retail sales.
90% of R3s has what?
It can be
Abandoned
airports and heliports. I mean, I can just go through this list. It's, you can have airports, heliports, apartments, art and music schools, athletic fields and courts. All of these,
Apartments are not a retail store.
No.
but
An
athletic
airport is
fields
not a
and
retail
courts
store
are
necessarily.
going to have concession stands, am I correct?
A what?
Concession stands?
You mean like where you might get a drink?
At a
Right.
stadium or.
So like
That's different from a residential.
But we're talking-
this is all
residential.
R3, this is all R3 zoning.
We're talking about running a store where you come and buy products. That's your.
She's talking retail sales, just like these would have retail sales.
No, it's not just like it. She said she
Okay, that's where I'm
developed
confused.
products from honey, and that she was selling them, and people could come and buy them. And she has a store, and she has a store, so to speak, with a sign outside saying so. And this is in a retail.
So banks,
it's a
credit
retail
unions,
property in the
savings and
neighborhood.
loan, barber shops, beauty shops. So we got a ton of beauty shops, we gotta tell them to quit selling their stuff.
I would not do that.
Special
They're
exception in
already
R3.
approved. We're talking about approving a new business here.
We would be doing the same thing if we were approving a barber shop in an R3, Are we telling them they have no retail sales?
We might have to if they're running a store.
But if you're doing those kinds of things in the kind of business that she wants to operate, you're not really running a retail store as much as you are just making products available when somebody comes in for one thing or another.
So here, another R3, by special exception only, a china, glassware, or metalware store or outlet.
She has none of those.
But it's, again, by special exception in R3, it's all retail.
That store is not hers. It's, what did you just say? China, metal?
Okay, but my point is,
Okay,
everything
that
I'm telling
doesn't
you has
fit
some
her
type of
store.
retail sales.
Didn't fit her store, did it?
So okay. Again, this is where we're confused. We're 90% of R3, special exception or by right, allows some type of retail sales. In this case, it doesn't. And I don't know why it doesn't, because she's selling things that go along with her. She's bath bombs and honey and health and all that stuff. It's like a
Things you
barber
could
shop
get at
selling.
a health
Tell me, am I
food
wrong?
store.
I don't know where I'm off base here. And we're
Things you
scratching
could
our
get at a
heads.
health food store. She could have these at a store, sold on consignment.
Okay,
Or she could run this business through a store as well. Now, maybe you think it's being a little picky and that you ought to do this because it's somewhat gray. But still, there will be people coming there just to buy products.
They could do that at a barber shop, at a glassware shop, at all these things I'm telling you. That's, I don't know, I guess I'm confused how it's allowed in a barber shop, but not in a yoga shop.
How much objection are we getting from neighbors?
Zero.
I can't vote on this.
Do they know?
You can't
Do
vote
they
on
know
it.
that?
I cannot vote on this, I have to abstain. Because
I
I
just,
know a little
again,
bit.
it's a toughie, and like I emailed you, Brandon and I have already been to court once over this. Over when we pulled it from the February meeting. She's emailed me twice now. Why was her personal business brought up? Why can't she have retail sales when everyone else can? And I was told to stay neutral in this situation. But
Okay,
again,
but
I'm scratching my head when everything else in R3 is allowed, but this doesn't allow.
Why was her business
Why
brought
is
up by
her
her?
business was brought
We
to
didn't
us
bring
by her,
personal
we didn't
business up.
Okay.
ask for her business.
We did have this special exception okayed by the judge,
But,
but then we
No,
got
we
in.
did
no,
not.
we did not, no,
He
because,
did not
The
okay
judge
a
did
special
not say-
exception.
right, we
He
had
said
it.
she could come and ask us for one.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah, but had
Well,
she
that's
not,
what you can't.
they had not decided on who the property owner was, who the property's gonna go to. So that would be unfair to us to give it to her, a special exception, and then the other party, he's like, well, why, what you getting in, we're making the decision for the judge, and we're not. That's, like I said, that's part of her business, or personal business, whatever. That's the part that we don't need to be in at all, until she gets all that straightened out.
Again, that's why we tabled it from February.
Right.
So, I mean, I get that. I'm just telling you, it wouldn't
Okay.
surprise me to get a subpoena.
Mhm.
Because we've
We didn't
already
even,
done it
why
once.
were we not informed that you guys were going to court? I had to go to court or subpoenaed or whatever.
Huh?
Why were, we were not notified that you guys were going to court about her situation. I mean, why were you guys even going to court? That's what I want to know.
We had to go and talk about the ex-husband coming in and getting papers and giving us papers on some stuff that she had a warrant out for her arrest prior to the last meeting. And basically what the ex-husband was doing.
Okay, then why was the sheriff here? That was another issue. Why were we not informed that the sheriff was here? What was it they doing?
That was just in case anything got out of hand.
That was for the next meeting, right?
Was that?
But we had it here for there too,
For us.
Oh,
because we didn't know if he was gonna show up or not. Because there's restraining orders in place.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
She's trying to make a living, just a living for herself and her children. And like I said, I have to abstain, I cannot vote because I know too much of the background. And well, I don't know what I can say and what I can't say.
Well, okay, I understand this may be a difficult decision for you, but you have no financial interest in this, correct?
I have no financial interest, but she is a customer of mine. So does that mean I have a financial interest, or?
It's an indirect financial
Yeah,
interest.
it is indirect. And so I know, but I know a little bit more about the circumstances involved than what the rest of you know about it. And I'm not privy to put that information out there. And I know that she's getting shortchanged.
Well, I think
She's trying to make.
I think it's our
only
place
thing
to
we
talk
need
about
do-
that.
I think the next thing that we need to talk about is the BZA, the laws of the BZA, not her business, not nothing, just the laws of the BZA, that's what we're looking for, that's all.
Again, my question, again, is in R3, either by special exception or by right, most everything in R3 has some type of retail sales in it. How do I distinguish in a case like this, where she's going to have retail sales, that in this case, it's not allowed?
First of all, we need to determine who owns the property.
She owns part of the property.
No, that's what I'm saying, so we can't really make a decision on, for her to have whatever, the retail shop or whatever, until the judge decides who the property belongs to. So therefore, let's wait until they get that straightened out, and then we can do our part. And that's the way it should be, that way. We're not dragging us into something that we have no business in.
Well, even beyond that.
Yeah.
So Brian, what you're telling me, if somebody is cutting hair out of their home, they have hair care products that they're selling. And that's zoned R3.
Right.
And that's out of their home, which is similar to this situation.
Right. This would be a yoga massage studio selling bath bombs.
Oils and stuff like that.
And we can cite where that is occurring in our county.
It's, I mean, it is in any R3 district. We can pull up a map and see what's in that R3 district and go to the table. But this is what would be allowed in R3, either by right or by special exception. So if you have a barber shop out there, it's allowed. I mean, it was not.
I know there's people cutting hair out of their home, but I'm not aware of them actually selling product out of their home.
Well, they would. I mean, if you've got a barber shop, you've got some combs and some things like that doesn't amount to that much, but it would be basically geared toward the people that were coming in to get your hair cut. They just happen to have lotions or something like that, and then basically what I'm looking at is she's doing virtually the same thing. She's not opening up a storefront to say, okay, come on in and buy these products.
She's not exclusively selling those products.
Principal business is the massage therapy and so forth and so on, and these products just go along with it.
So also in R3, by right is fairgrounds. Do we have any retail sales in the fairground?
Do we have any fairgrounds in R3?
Also, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's.
I know, it is unusual, isn't it? We're talking about a neighborhood
Right.
in Upland. And there may be things on that zone chart that may need review as
Funeral
been
parlor.
discussed before.
Golf club, golf course, government buildings.
Well, the funeral home there would have.
Yeah.
You can have a hospital
In a
or
house
clinic.
that was in a home originally, and
Hospice, house. Ice dealer, whatever that is. But point, you get my point. I mean,
I get your point, but I also think there's some things on this zone table that need cleaned up.
I agree.
And we need to go by them until that's done. And this is an instance where it is a little bit gray, but the way she presented it was she wanted to sell retail. And she has a sign outside. And what amount of traffic are we putting into that neighborhood is the question, and is this the place for that business? That business could be run out of a retail storefront in town, or it's some commercial.
But this is a mute point until we decide about,
And that's the issue.
Well, I mean, if I have a, so next week someone comes in and they've got a barber shop with special
That's what
exception
I'm saying.
in an R3. I said, well, but you can't have retail sales in it. You can't sell your shampoos and conditioners. I'm asking, I mean,
I don't, what's the solution to that?
Well, that one is, you can cut hair without selling stuff. I used to go.
And I
all the time.
think we've been down this road before, that we've okayed beauty shops or barber shops
Or pet grooming.
or pet grooming, but to go to the length we're going now, we don't know when we approved that they weren't selling.
Yes, and they didn't come in and specifically
Say
say,
that,
I want to
yes.
do retail stores, I make these products and I want to sell them.
Correct.
Those things were stated. And it was noted that, well, this is similar to Planet Fitness or the YMCA or other health clubs, which may not be zoned R3.
Right.
They may be zoned for what they are doing, commercial.
but I was basically going down the R3 line.
But the YMCA may not be zoned R3, and Planet Fitness definitely is not. So those were examples given to us of why we should do this. So that is, you know.
So are there
That
other
brings up
zoning
a point.
opportunities or options out there that are free? I don't know, I'm new.
R3, there are quite a few things on the zone table that you can do. But stores are pretty much limited. And there wasn't a store that fits.
Didn't she come in as, for the application, she stated that she was gonna have a yoga, whatever.
With some retail sales.
Okay. Was that on the application that she's gonna sell, retail sales, or was it
Yes,
just?
it was
I
on
think
the
it said some minor retail.
Yeah, okay. Well,
But it still comes back to what we said in the last meeting, till a priority is set, then kind of open case right there.
I mean, it's reasonable as to what we've done and making a decision that we would like to know who the
yes,
property owner
Yeah.
ends up being.
that's our job to find out who the, once we know the property owners, the land has been, by the judge or whoever, saying, this is my property, the other persons that relinquished their claim or whatever, then we go from there. That's our duty. But anything else, we don't have anything in it. No. And how long has she said she'd been, in business for what? She just said she had 400 customers already, so she's been in business a long time without the required,
That's what she said,
Yeah.
400 clients.
She said-
400 is
She said she's been in business since 2015 in that location,
okay.
which is why it looks like it does, like a gym.
It's not the location, it's not the location, it's how long she's been in business without a permit.
But anyway,
So we continue to be tabled.
we
Yes.
continue to be
Yeah.
tabled.
Yes.
We'll have to make a motion or something that needs to, I guess, we don't need a motion. that we keep it tabled until they straighten the business straighten out or whatever.
Well, we already been that way.
Okay.
Ryan, did anything come out of your court appearance as a result of the decision to table?
You went to court before that, right?
Not that we, I mean, nothing came back to us.
Okay,
Testified and left.
okay.
But before she was here, you went to court,
Right,
right?
Oh, so that's been
Because-
in
Hasn't been
between
anything
here.
since.
because we got tabled.
I'm still not understanding, why were we involved to go to court, you guys, to go to court?
Because we tabled her, we tabled her application based off of what he brought in
Okay,
as far as the active warrant and at that point, I thought, we're not bringing that all here.
okay, right,
He was hoping she, well,
okay, just,
it was thought she could walk in the door and get arrested.
yeah, okay.
So that's, I thought, let's not
Just not
have
go
that
down
to
that
do with
road.
these.
That was a good decision.
Okay, so
I guess.
he didn't make any directives that we should move forward or
No.
anything?
No, this was a contempt.
Okay, it really didn't have any bearing on what we're doing.
So we need an action since it's on the agenda?
Probably,
It was on the agenda, but it's just as a note of old business.
I would think though that
Just
you'd
take a
want to take a motion to table, because otherwise, within our framework, she could not reapply for, that variance for a year, right?
yeah, right.
But he didn't take an adverse
She
motion.
didn't get an adverse. We did not vote it down. If we vote something down, she
Okay.
cannot return for a
Okay,
year.
all right.
Right now, all she knows is it's tabled.
Yeah,
Right.
and like I said,
Until these problems are worked out.
right, so we,
So she has two problems to work out. One of them will probably be a real problem because of the pending divorce. But the other one, that if she were going to do this at this point in time, she should not have retail sales involved in what she's doing.
I think definitely it shouldn't be advertised out on the front like a store.
Right, okay.
I think that would help. Selling products incidentally that haven't had to do with what you're doing, like a barber shop or a beauty salon, is one thing. Making products just to sell is something totally different.
But she is allowed to have that sign to promote her business.
A retail sign or.
Her sign is just her business, doesn't say retail sales or anything.
No, I think it says something about honey on or something. Honey
Or
products.
sold honey or something.
Yeah.
and
Honey sold
vaccination
here,
would be a
something
health
like that.
issue.
So,
I don't also
this is
ask,
a residential neighborhood that we're putting traffic into.
retail sales not allowed in R3. Where did you find that?
You look on the zone table and you won't find a store that corresponds with what she's doing.
But it doesn't say
It is
no
allowed in
retail sales.
R3.
Okay. So I thought, we don't have a retail or sales in here that says no in R3. You just haven't found what she's doing.
I found what she's doing on that zone table.
Okay.
Table. Okay, do we have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we,
Continue the table.
yeah, continue.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mrs. Jones, a second by Mr. Long. We have a roll call, please.
Atkins,
Yes.
Powell,
Abstain.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes,
Long,
Yes.
Okay, motion passed.
now she'll have a chance to come back, still, even if she gets her
Yeah, when
business.
these things are
Okay.
resolved.
She won't have to wait a year.
No,
Okay,
And I
she
was
won't have a waiting
okay,
period.
she won't have a waiting period at all.
It's just-
If it-
I was
Go ahead.
guilty of vote.
What'd you say?
What's that?
Bill,
Yeah, he voted.
He voted
Yeah, he
yes.
voted, he voted.
He voted.
he can only do it twice online before he's gotta be present.
He is present. We can see him
We
right
can see
now.
him.
I'm saying, he can do it electronically twice. where he has to be present here.
Physically present.
You mean 2 meetings?
Oh,
So you can't
Are
go.
you keeping track?
Huh?
Are you keeping track of when it's voted? Because I wasn't.
Yeah.
So what's his situation?
He, at this point, he can't, I mean, he's been absent, he's done his 2 online.
Okay, are you aware of that, Bill?
Yeah, but I didn't think we'd had actually voted all that in yet. It's still in red.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I'm the one that said we should do it, but it's still in red. So we really haven't voted on that.
Yeah, well, it's actually state code that we have to go by. It trumps local rules.
So we have a form without it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're still here.
We have 5. Okay. Okay.
Gets sticky, doesn't it? Feeling like the school business.
All right, let's move on. We have no new business. Rules of procedure, review recommendations from the committee. Okay, we left off on page 5. Everybody have their rules?
We passed page 5.
Yeah, we
By roll
passed
call.
page 5, yes.
I was gonna say, I made new copies that has everything in it, if you guys want a copy of that.
sure.
Not to interrupt or anything.
Is this the same as your?
It's the same, but it has everything in it. I went up and got everything in there for you guys. You want a copy of
This
it?
is Katie, by the way, if you don't know.
Hi,
She is,
yeah.
she was our permits clerk, she is now our code enforcement secretary.
And then I guess I have to.
You don't have a meeting tonight. You don't have a meeting tonight. You're welcome to stay.
What is that? I'm sure that's
Okay, moving on here. Begin on page 6. All right, 522, upon approval of the chairperson, staff shall propose recommended action. Are we on page 6?
I got 5, that jumps to 7.
You don't have page 6?
6 is on the back. Of the new.
What did you say again?
It's on the back as well.
I tried to hurry.
Okay, look at the
This
I think that's.
The new, the new
This is
one?
the
Look at the new packet. Yeah.
I got you a new copy, that's what I paper clipped together for you.
Okay.
Oh, I've got mine.
Okay, there you go.
I didn't know if you had one.
Upon approval of the chairperson, staff shall propose recommended action for a particular petition in the staff report. Okay, we do not currently do this practice, so the committee said to remove that. Any discussion?
That would need it, don't clutter it up.
I've got discussion on that. Indiana code states the staff may appear before the board at the hearing present to present evidence in support of or in opposition to the granting of a variance or the determination of any matter before the BZA.
Well, this is not that. This is upon approval of the chairperson, which we don't do. I never approve whether or not you propose a recommended action. We don't do that ahead of time, so I'm like, that needs to be removed.
Gotcha, okay.
Any other discussion on that?
And we're talking about 522, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
522, top of page 6.
Yes.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay, that's passed. Now, all parties shall be allowed to submit documents into public record up to no less than 2 business days prior to the meeting. Okay, we've sometimes had a little difficulty with what are 2 days. Add an example, Friday and Monday are 2 days. for a Monday evening meeting. That's after business hours. The day is complete. So Monday should count. Friday, Monday, evening meeting. So documents must be in by the close of business Thursday. That's just adding a little clarification to it, because sometimes we've heard people say, well, is it Wednesday evening, or is it Thursday? Or is it Thursday morning? So just to clear it up, we thought to add that clarification. Is there any discussion on that? Okay, hearing no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed. Moving on down to 524. Okay. This is when any party may provide support documentation to be delivered to the Board of Zoning Appeals members along with the staff report. To do so, the party must provide, it used to say sufficient copies to staff for each member of the Plan Commission. A lot of these people coming in here, they won't know how many copies should I make. We should probably, committee thought, specify, make 10. That'd be one for each of us, plus one for each staff person. One for the record, we're good with 10. And then also change in red Plan Commission to BZA. Okay, any discussion on those changes? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay,
No, they're still gonna bring that in to Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one that passes it
Right.
out, not just
it
somebody.
is for each member of the
Just giving us the
BZA.
number.
Okay.
Right, for each member of the BZA, so that's papers before. Okay, 525 disclosure. The Grant County, says Area Plan Commission, changed to BZA. Moving on down, nay should be any, minor typo. Moving on down, and, drop the D, make it and. Application shall disclose their identity to Grant County Area Plan Commission, change to Area Plan Office, so as to alleviate any confusion of where applications go. Any discussion on those, on that paragraph under disclosure? Okay,
Before you go ahead there, I have a question.
yes.
When somebody brings in information and we're saying they need to bring in 10 copies
Any additional,
to you,
right.
okay? Do you ever have to make copies yourself of that information, or do you hold them tight to that? And then to add to the question was, is there a fee that's charged if you make some of the copies because they don't have enough or something like that?
But if there should be, it doesn't happen, usually it doesn't happen enough to really make it a, if they need 10 copies or we want 10 copies, we just do it. Now, if they come in and said, hey, will you make a copy of this?
Yeah.
We get to what, 10 cents a page? And I mean, if they wanted something like that, if it's something small, we just do it.
Okay.
Good question.
Just so that you've got a rule to follow somewhere along the line,
Yeah.
because it would be an inconvenience, because many times people, private citizens will not have a copy machine and things like that that
Yeah.
they could go to, so,
It's usually one of those that we've got contested, or they come running in at the last minute, that, hey, we want this in there too. That's the,
Yeah, okay. This is as long as you got the rules to live by so that you can get it done and not imposing too much on you.
Okay, and that's, also, to clarify that, they should submit that. It says 10 days prior to the meeting to be included, correct? In the staff report. But 2 days before, just to be added as a handout, okay? Okay, so then on 525, any
can I
discussion?
ask one thing here? And this isn't in code, this disclosure. And I know in my time here, it's come up in the past where we've had companies who didn't want to divulge who they were. I just thought that was interesting that we've put that in there. Not that it's a bad thing or good thing. I don't know. Like we had a Dollar General come in that didn't want to say early on they were a Dollar General. And we've had fights in here over this.
So how did you do it?
They got in a fight.
No, I mean, but
They got to fight with who?
You guys.
But that is a legitimate concern sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you open that door, then all of a sudden, the price of the property goes up
Yeah.
before they get a chance to get a hold of it. So I don't know how you do it or whether.
I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah,
That's just saying.
I would agree.
It's a difficult situation.
Yeah.
I mean, once they're really committed to it, and possibly have put an earnest money on a property, then maybe they wouldn't so much have a problem with saying who it is.
A lot of them don't want to
Prior
say
to that.
what it is because like
Yeah.
when Walmart came in, they didn't really say who they were. They
Right.
just said, X.
Mhm.
And I think that's fair to them too, because, in some cases, they feel like, well, we gotta tell all this and, get, all this out in the open, they'll back out.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with them having saying, well, just X and, this is what we wanna do,
Yeah.
So, cause it's still up to us to decide what they're gonna do and approve it,
Yeah, we still have to know
Yeah, we're the
what
ones
they're
that,
gonna do.
we're
We
asking.
still gotta know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what
What
is,
are
we
you
don't
gonna
have to
do?
know the company name or anything, but we do have to know what they're gonna do.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, the company doesn't have to give their name, that's,
Well, that's what this says though.
Yeah.
well,
It says they have to give their name.
disclosure. Yes.
well, are you guys wanting to stick with that, or?
So I was just bringing, it's interesting.
And that's what I'm saying.
It's not in code, but
And
it's
that's gonna
something.
come up one of these times. And they may not wanna give their names right now, they just wanna be known as brand X
Yeah.
or something,
I think we're gonna have to think about this quite a bit.
yeah.
This is not an easy one.
Yeah, because you don't wanna knock yourself out of a business coming
That's
into
what I'm
town.
saying,
Yes,
because they have to,
yeah. But,
I think as long as they say what they're gonna do about, what they're bringing here, what they're gonna accomplish, what are their goals and stuff, I think all that information is fine. They shouldn't have to give their name, I'm just brand X, and then once they decide that they've got the approval, if they can tell us who they are, because a lot of times that will knock you out of getting that company. They don't wanna disclose anything, because they're, they just don't.
it's a difficult situation.
Mhm.
I mean, the public has a right to know who's going in next to them as well.
Well, that'll be,
I can't see us having a public hearing very well with the people in the room wanting to know what's going on in this property.
Right.
And then we're gonna have somebody up here as brand X. I think
I
we're gonna
think
get
we're
some
gonna
real pushback on that too.
Yeah.
What do you mean you can't tell us who?
Yeah.
Or, well, what are you doing then? I
Yeah,
mean,
well, because when they come up,
I think
they
it's different.
basically state what they're gonna do and what they're asking for and all that. But they, to ask who that person identified.
Well, we're saying you have to.
But there's a
That's-
notification that's gonna be given to property owners, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, that's what,
Company X
all
is
that's
coming
what,
in.
yeah, we're not withdrawing that.
yeah, we're keeping that in there, but we're just saying that right now, we don't wanna expose who we are as the company.
You guys have had that in the past, where they've come in and you, I don't know, I can't remember who it was, but it was basically a who are you? And it's, well, we don't wanna say it this time.
Right,
Of course, it is zoning appeals,
Yeah.
so
So
the
they're gonna give-
original zoning
Mhm.
is not ours to do.
No, I mean, if it's already zoned commercial, they won't even be here.
Yeah, that's right, so. That's
True.
Okay.
So if we've got to make a decision and have a public hearing,
Yep.
Information helps, doesn't it?
yeah, a little information, a little openness is, at that point, if you haven't even made a deal on the land, what are you doing here?
Yeah, that's right.
You ought to at least have agreed upon the price. And, you know, I would say that would be a special
It's just
case.
sidetracked, it's just
Is this rare, or is this common for other counties?
rare. I mean, it's pretty rare, but it's held true. It's caused, trying to think, I'm thinking Van Buren, Dollar General maybe was the last one. Is that right? Yeah, they were the last ones who said, no, we're not saying, but it all worked out.
Right.
And everyone knew what it was.
Who it was.
He just wouldn't say who it was.
Brian, that sounds like you didn't have your homework done and you're trying to stretch it out so I won't call for a test.
Sorry.
Anyway, okay, back on task here. Do we have the changes that we've made here discussed sufficiently? Are we all set with that, ready for a vote?
I think so.
Okay, hearing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Ron, what page are you on? Okay, we have just completed page 6 and we need a roll call vote to approve page 6.
Atkins,
Yes.
Powell,
Yeah.
Jones,
Yeah.
Long,
Yes.
Okay, page 6
I
approved.
lost Bill.
Bill, are you there?
He logged out shortly after he was told that he was no longer voting. So he disappeared
Well, that
after
was
that.
kind of a miscommunication. Okay. All right. Page 7, 533. Staff shall release an agenda that is approved by the chairperson. That is one thing that we thought we should do as the committee added that. Is there any discussion on that? We've done this some, not always, mostly a new thing. The agenda is signed by the chairperson and put out as the chairperson's agenda.
It almost seems like you're saying the same thing though.
Yeah, it says the same thing, right?
It's, I mean, as far as full relation agenda, you'll approve it for a regular meeting, executive meeting, but 10 days prior, you and I both have to approve it.
Yeah, I assume you've approved it if you've sent it to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean, so we're almost saying the
so-
same thing.
As, after I approved it, it's ready to go out. And within 5 days, though I don't know if it's in here, it is not to be changed. Okay. Are we ready? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Next one, add, the agenda must be posted on the website at that time. This could be a good use for our website, that we post our agenda so that people can see what we'll be meeting on.
We're not doing that now.
We're not doing that now.
We're not doing that now.
Oh, I didn't know that we weren't. I thought we were.
We are
doing
not.
You've never done that?
Okay,
No,
oh, that'd
this
be
is
something,
new.
that'd be something to do, something nice to do.
That's a good idea.
Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Okay, on down. Area Plan Office shall serve notice to owners of property directly adjacent to the property in question, including property across a public right-of-way or municipal boundary. Such notification will be by and certified mail with return receipt and shall be postmarked no less than 10 calendar days prior to the public hearing. The reason for this is we've had people come in and say, I only had 2 days to get ready for this. Or I only had 1 day to get ready for this. And we don't know exactly when it was mailed and when they received it. But with this added step, we will know that.
I would note we've got $500 for the year. These are at $5 to $6 a piece now.
We may need an additional appropriation to cover that. But we're in sometimes difficult positions where I'm sometimes trying to decide, should we move forward with it when the people are here claiming they did not have a chance to prepare? And that maybe we should give them 30 days to the next meeting.
When we say adjacent, how far is adjacent? Next door?
Well, it's next door or across the road.
So how many could that possibly be? What would be your maximum amount that you would send, as an example?
We've had one case where there was like 30 neighbors that attached to them.
30 neighbors.
They must have had a big place. And
Good
all the other
grief,
places
I'd
around it.
A lot of them are like, if it's in a subdivision, whatever connects to them. And you take the roads out and alleys out, whatever touches that property.
What do we normally have?
I think about the least amount is maybe 4, 5.
Right now, all you have is postage versus certified mail, which would cost
$5 to $6.
$5 to $6, he said.
Per.
over $6.
And my supply for mailing is 500.
Okay. But we do have some overage in here, correct?
I have to move around stuff.
I think
So-
we'll try this.
So Brenda says I got 30. We might not be able to send it this month until I can get to the council meeting next month to get it moved.
Well, you might have to go negative and then make an additional appropriation or transfer, which we've seen done many times at council meetings.
Council has to request
Not
a
us, but
a
the
transfer.
council, commissioners. Yeah, they have to approve anything I move.
Okay.
The council has to,
Yeah,
yes.
and I think this is reasonable. I think if we explain to them why we're doing this, I think it'd be reasonable that they would say, yeah.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Brenda,
Opposed? Did you have something you wanted to say?
Brenda had the idea of putting it into our fee. Good idea.
Oh, $5 increase in the fee?
Well,
That would be
On your
something the
permit fee?
ABC could take up as a
You could
change
do
in their
that.
fee schedule, right?
If you know, your fee would depend on how many adjourning properties.
I think that's a great idea. Good, bring that.
I go. So I
Or you
can,
may put in an
There you
average,
go, girl.
you might put in an average, so that you
Yeah.
don't soak somebody just for where they live. You know, if the average is 6 per, then $30, or 36, something like that. I can't think we'd have a whole lot at 30. We might have
I
some
couldn't even imagine
higher.
30.
30's a lot, that's for sure. That would be a
That's
record.
gotta be a pie in there.
Yeah, but I could see in a subdivision, you've got one on either side, a couple across the road, a couple behind you, 6 or 8, pretty quick.
I think the last one, the one that had the 30 was when we were dealing with a cell tower at the,
Golf course?
yeah, out at Sports Lake, I
They
think
didn't
it's,
have very many.
Yeah.
but you got that.
Maybe the
big
cell
old-
tower by the school, there was a subdivision right next to it. That one didn't go. Anyway,
He's a good idea.
So if we're gonna go for
Yes.
two, we might as well go for.
okay, that completes changes for page 7. So at this time, can we have a roll call vote for page 7?
Atkins,
Yes.
Howe,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes,
Long,
Yes.
Okay, approved. What's that? Are you folks here to request something from us?
I just wasn't sure if it was gonna come up or not, but right across the road from me is an event center.
An event center?
On 350 East, 1221 South 350 East. My name is Don Sutton. And they're putting an event center, a wedding and event center in. I went to the area plan office and asked them about that, and they said it was not zoned for an event center. And they would have to ask for an approval from you people. And I.
350, is that gas city?
That's over, you're talking Dan Young.
Talking what?
Dan Young over, oh, the addition over by the school.
oh,
By Roosevelt School.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
They have not came and applied,
They haven't applied yet?
right?
Do they know they have to?
Yes. They've done remodeling and stuff in there. Building inspector and I have both been in there.
My opinion is you should make it a residence and sell it.
Oh, it's wet.
But, I mean, I and my neighbors are not terribly interested in having music blasted all over the neighborhood till midnight, which is what you'll end up with an event center.
had this person put in for a permit or anything?
They've got a permit. They have.
Why was the permit granted to Kingdom Event Center
Why
They-
won't-
if
why
the
won't they-
zoning wasn't right?
Well, originally they were just remodeling the building, fixing the building.
Well, there is a permit hanging on the door that says Kingdom Event Center.
Yeah, we gave them a remodel permit for the building.
But anyway, I'm concerned about that, and I've prepared
Yeah, how do you?
a presentation to the board, and I'm getting signatures from all the neighbors that we do not want that there.
He has not applied.
Okay. Will I be notified if he is?
Yeah, we'll have a sign out in the front yard. It'll be in the paper.
Well,
And we'll also send it to all adjacent properties.
you'll send it to adjacent property?
Yeah.
Because it's right across the road from me.
Okay.
That's adjacent.
Okay.
That's what we're just talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was noticing that. That's what you were talking about. And,
You're getting
I
registered
and
mail.
all the other adjacent neighbors are not terribly happy about that.
Okay. So Ryan, he's saying that the property that is adjacent to him is gonna be an event center. So what have they applied for?
Well, it was a school.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was already, well, I don't have everything in front of me.
This road?
Yeah.
Huh?
Roseburg School?
Roosevelt.
Okay.
On 350 East and 100 South.
Oh, okay.
And then it was a
I think it's zoned RS, but it was actually a school, like an a private
for
elementary.
It
non-traditional.
was a school for
students.
troubled children.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
building
so-
that they're making
so-
into the event center was the church that ran it.
Oh, okay.
It was a school for non-traditional high school students.
So,
We didn't have any trouble with those, the kids, you know, they were well overseen. And it's still a quiet place to live, but I'm An event center is not a quiet place to live. So I was concerned about that.
So it's changed ownership since the school?
I don't know.
Has it
Yeah,
changed?
It's sat empty for a couple of years, and then, Dan Young built the house right there next to it. And bought that, his company bought that property, and he come in and got a remodel permit for it.
Well, then what does that have to do with the event center, if it's if it's a remodel? Is he remodeling it?
Well, he got a remodel permit to fix it up, because
Right.
it sat empty for a couple of years.
Okay,
So
so,
he has not applied for it to be an event center.
so,
He's got a sign up,
I was gonna say, how did he
big,
come to
big
the
sign up by
conclusion?
the road that says
Yeah.
wedding and event center.
They put that up last month.
Okay, so,
It's been a couple of months since we've done inspections, so
okay,
we
can you
need
go
to
out,
get
can you
back
go
on
out there? Can you go out there and take a look at that?
Did he apply with the name, the event center?
No, he said he was just
It's
fixing it up.
Kingdom,
The building permit
Renovations or
says
something like
Kingdom Event Center
It's
on it.
under
But that's,
Kingdom
that's
Event
not what he
Center
applied for,
LLC.
he said he was remodeling
What's
it,
written
no,
on
no.
But when they
that's
came in,
He's
it was
gonna
supposed
go out
to just
there
be
and
for
have a look at
storage.
that. See
it.
what's
You
going on.
better.
Yeah, he'll get out there.
Well, then I'll be kept apprised of the
Yeah.
situation.
Well, I mean, it's strange, I guess.
You might want to call
No,
that
you
once
should.
in a while,
Yeah,
get updates.
Okay.
and if you're gonna get your
I
neighbors or
mean, I
whoever.
don't wanna cost the guy a bunch of money, but he's already spent it. And that should be a house, it should be a residence.
I think it's got RS,
Yeah, it's.
residential suburban, so I'll have to see, an event center may be allowed in residential suburban, because that's,
Well, then it'll cost me $100,000 and decrease the land value.
I don't know that, I don't have the land use and stuff in front of me, but, and I don't think that's what we're supposed to be doing at this meeting.
Well, I'll
But
be,
when he gets the permit for this event center, then they'll be able to come, the neighbors and everybody come and,
Yeah, it'll all come
they'll
here,
be able to come in and
unless it's
say,
allowed by right.
yeah, unless it's allowed by right, but if not, when it comes to ask, for the board to ask about it, then your neighbors or everybody come and say, why you don't want it, you know? So we'll know that, that's not what you guys want.
okay. Thank you for your time.
I'll look at it tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on,
What time is it?
page 8.
Oh, they have a meeting? How long we gonna be?
Page 8 here.
Okay.
What time we getting to be? We're after 7.
Yeah, we're after 7, so.
You want to delay, let's
finish 8.
you
Yeah,
wanna
we'll finish 8, yeah.
We haven't started 8 yet.
No.
We'll start and finish it, and
All
then
right.
call it a day.
Well, you finish 8.
I can
Anyway.
do that.
6.3, minutes and records. There is, minutes shall include the vote of each member present and voting on every question. This is in the middle of the paragraph. Whether or not a final decision is rendered. Should any member be disqualified from participating and voting on any application, an alternate may be placed by the appointing body to fulfill the duties of the disqualified members. It was noticed that we don't have a standby trained alternate, and that we don't do this process like we are doing today. We're a member short and one signed off. We move ahead with the people that we have, as long as we have a quorum. So it's been suggested to remove that there where it says, should any member be disqualified from participating and voting on any application, as Ron did, we noted here, an alternate may be placed by the appointing authority to fulfill the duties of the disqualified member. We have not done alternates. We've not moved towards training an alternate. So since we don't do this, it does not fit with what we do.
But it is coded.
It is code, but these are our rules that we go by.
Okay.
So and we are to write our rules, we can always read code too to make sure we are not breaking any rules or laws. And we do. But we don't do this. And so it's confusing to a new member or anyone else who may read our rules who comes for a petition and would ask for them. They should be given to them if anyone asks for our rules. Does anybody have any other discussion on that? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. On down 632, the board may tape record, and we should add, or video record the proceedings of each meeting to substantiate and clarify the official minutes. Any discussion there? We do that routinely. May as well.
When do we stop recording?
Oh,
As far as the business of the BZA, once the meeting is over with, or does it continue
I
until
don't
we leave,
know
or
if
what?
the thing rolls until the next APC meeting comes on. It may just roll.
Usually we stop.
Unless we have an executive session.
And then
We
the
stop and restart between.
IT will pull it and they'll put it on the county website, and then on our actual website, when they send it to me, I get it down to hitting the hammer to done.
Okay. Do we let it run between meetings?
No, not usually.
Okay, because I was gonna say IT's not here, but you guys are here. Okay. All right. Anyway, video record. Add that. I put or instead of and, just on the outside chance that the only thing we could do would be audible. We used to just have audible tape, that's why it says this. Okay. Anyway, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, approved. 633, all information entered into the record is considered an agreement by the petitioner or his/her representative with the Plan Commission. Change that to BZA. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Okay, the petitioner will be held liable if the agreement or condition is not fulfilled to the satisfaction of the, change that to BZA. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. Okay, the petitioner may submit an appeal to the legislative body for the jurisdiction in which the affected property is located, or any agreements or conditions entered into the record but not part of a motion. The appeal must be filed with the board on an application form supplied to the board with the requested fee. This must be old. This is not done any longer. When the BZA makes a decision, the appeal is to the circuit court or superior court. Yes. That's their recourse. So we have to remove that. Any discussion?
You're removing 6321,
6321 and 21A
21A, okay?
in red. And it carries over to the next page. It's further information about the same thing.
So is the appeal addressed somewhere else?
The appeal is, yes, to the circuit or superior court, and that's not in our rules. That's in code. We could look at adding that. We'll talk about that next meeting.
Have we had appeals go that far?
Yes,
Yeah.
Better have it in.
we filed an appeal back when we lost to the appeals court. Okay, that's
You wanna
another
do the
story.
next page, top of the next page too, same time, or you wanna,
Yes, let's do the top of the next page at the same time.
because that's the same thing.
It's the same thing, it's just more detail about advertised, the appropriate legislative body, advertised in a suitable newspaper, all that. None of that we do. That's down to remove. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Approved. And we will take up there at the next meeting. What is that, May? Anybody know the date?
First.
May 1st. Okay. First day of the month. Friday.
Randy, 2.1.7 is appeal at the front.
Okay, so we got it in there.
We have it in there.
Thank you. Great. We got a roll call vote on that? What? On these pages that we're changing?
Well, this is an appeal over a decision made by the executive director. This is not an appeal to a decision of the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Oh,
Okay, so that's, and, okay, it wouldn't have to be in our rules, but it could be. You know, the process that an applicant can seek recourse on a decision they disagree with. There was a few other things to talk about, but I think we can wait for the next meeting as we are already over time.
Now, do you want a roll call vote on what we just approved?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Roll call, please.
That would be on page 8 and.
7 at the top of page 8.
Top of page
Page 9. You got that, Brenda?
Yeah,
Atkins,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
okay, roll call. Vote approved. Okay. And we took the public comment a little bit out of order, but that was fine.
I feel sorry for those people.
Yeah, they were getting some information they were interested in, now, weren't they? Okay, thank you, everyone. Meeting adjourned.
I don't think they can.
Quite sure.